Good morning. So it is coming up to Easter very soon. John 21 says, this is after Jesus resurrected. I think the third time he appeared to his disciples. This time his disciples, it's kind of started with a low tone, because disciples in John 21 is talking after these times. After this, Jesus appeared again to the disciples by the Sea of Tiberias. He reviewed himself in this way. This is the Sea of Tiberias. Simon Peter, Thomas, Nathanael of Cana, the sons of Zebedee, and 2 other disciples were with him. Simon Peter said to them, I'm going fishing. See, this is a tone of going back to the old profession. After the Lord has died and resurrected, you know, strange things. The third appearance, the first, second appearance, it seems nothing substantial happened yet. I guess all this is pointing towards the Pentecost. The real catalyzing action is the Pentecost. When things happen, everything is going to go powerfully, explosively through, and it's going to explode and cover the whole world. You know, all the languages in the world, known languages at the time in that area, were spoken prophetically by the disciples in the day of Pentecost. I'd love to share this some future later on. But so Simon said, I'm going fishing. They said to him, we'll go with you. They went out and got into the boat, but that night they caught nothing. Okay, so on their own effort, they caught nothing. Whole night caught nothing. This is reminiscent of another occasion that they did the same thing too. Now remember, these are profession. These men are by profession fishermen. Okay, this is not like amateur guys. Their livelihood's on that. So it's kind of unlikely that they caught nothing. Without saying it, reading into the text, one possibility is that the Lord set it out to contrast it. You can see why. Just as day was breaking, Jesus stood on the shore. The disciples didn't know it was Jesus. Jesus said to them, children, do you have any fish? This is great. Jesus called them children. I don't think I've ever seen Jesus addressing them as children. Now this is really elevating. He's like the Father now, you know. He's a resurrected Christ now, you know. He's going to ascend back into the heaven. But he said, children, do you have any fish? But knowing that they caught nothing whole night, they answered him, no. He said to them, cast the net on the right side of the boat and you'll find some. This is how he demonstrated his power, his miracle. The God of providence. You know, when you're going through a hard time, remember, God will show you the way. But very often, God allows certain things to come to you, make you to be so humbled and know that you can't do it by yourself. And the eventuality of it, you have to come to him. But when you come to him, he shows you a much powerful way. Then you will begin to experience the glory of Jesus. That's how you see the beauty and the glory of Christ. You know, for the most and the longest time, I couldn't figure out, what do people mean, the beauty of Christ? That you see the beauty of Christ. Okay, you see the glory of Christ, probably more appropriate, right? Yes. Okay, you see the glory of Christ. And you see the beauty too. You see the intrinsic divinity, divineness of God in Jesus. It is one thing to talk about the divinity of Christ, but it's another thing to experience that. That's why I believe that after hearing these talks, you need to go back and pray and yearn for that miracle, for that encounter with God, for including myself. God, show me that I can experience that. I want that, and you know. And so they cast the net down. Now they were not able to hold it in because the quantity of fish. Well, this is amazing. First they caught nothing the whole night. Now they put it in barely like 1 minute, and the fish was just overwhelming all over. What's going on? The haul was so big, so great, so many fish. And at that point, the disciple whom Jesus loved, which is John, the funny way of writing, he called himself the disciple whom Jesus loved. He's very proud of it, I suppose. And therefore said to Peter, "It is the Lord." When Simon Peter heard it was the Lord, he put on his outer garment, for he was stripped for work, and threw himself to the sea. Now that is typical Simon Peter, the man of action, spontaneity, action, almost impulsive, Who was the first one to confess Jesus is the Lord, is the Son of God? Peter. That is his strength. It is his strength. Is that his weakness? Is that his weakness? I suppose so. I don't know. I can't find a figure now in my mind, but that's definitely one of his strengths, I would argue. He went straight into the sea. Same thing, remember Jesus was walking the water? All the disciples were alarmed, shocked. There was nighttime, storm was howling, and Jesus walking on the sea towards them. And they say, "It's the Lord." And guess what? Peter said, "Lord, if it's you, call me to walk to you." That is the power. That is typical Simon Peter. Amazing. And then the disciples came in the boat, dragging the net full of fish, for they were not far from the land. They were 100 yards off. When they got out on land, they saw a charcoal in place where fish lay out on it and bread. So who set all this up? There was charcoal, there was bread. All this was done by the Lord while they were fishing. Get ready for the fish. And then verse 10, Jesus said to them, "Bring some of the fish that you have just caught." So Simon Peter went aboard and hauled the net ashore full of large fish. Not just fish, large fish. How many? 153 of them. And although there were so many, the net was not torn. Wow. I dream the day we can haul in large fish. Not the real fish. I mean the metaphorically. Jesus makes us the fishers of man. I want to long for the day we hold a large spirit, large quantity of men and women into the house of God. 153, great number. And Jesus said to them, "Come and have breakfast." Now I just want to jump to when they have finished breakfast. Okay. So before we get, maybe I'll do part 2 on the confession of Peter. So that's how Jesus, the third time Jesus appeared to the disciples after he was raised from the dead. Jesus demonstrated and convinced the disciples that he is God. He's the God-man. And you don't have to go back to fishing as your old profession. But get ready. I'm going to send you out. But this is not clear yet until Acts 2, the day of Pentecost. So this is the introduction, preparation of hearts, that great things, world revival is coming. Guys, let's pray for America that we will see great things happen in New York, in New Jersey, all over. Amen.